Hey, welcome back to Not So Complicated, and today we'll be talking about renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, its mechanism and outcomes, right? So, what triggers activate this system? One of them is blood pressure, low blood pressure, and another one is low sodium concentration, right? So, these changes are sensed by JG apparatus or juxtaglomerular apparatus of the kidneys, and that is when they release renin. This is an enzyme, right? And then liver comes into the function. This liver will secrete an enzyme called angiotensinogen, and this is an inactivated form which will get converted into angiotensin 1 by the action of the same renin released by JG apparatus, right? So this angiotensin 2 will get converted into another enzyme by the action of this lungs. This lungs will actually secrete ACE enzyme, that is angiotensin converting enzyme that converts angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2, and this has a lot of functions. We'll be talking about that. Out of them, one of them is that it releases aldosterone from adrenal gland, right? So this is the mechanism and the roadmap of RAAS system. Let's talk about the mechanism and outcomes of these RAAS system. So one of them is vasoconstriction of the vessels, right? So since the trigger is low blood pressure, the body has to increase the blood pressure at any cost, right? So it constricts the vessels, and vessels constriction will increase the preload of the body, right? So increasing the preload increases the blood pressure, obviously. And another one is releases aldosterone. Aldosterone will lead to the increased reabsorption of sodium and water, that will lead to increased blood volume, and since blood volume is increased cardiac output. We all know what is blood pressure. Blood pressure is like cardiac output into total peripheral resistance, right? So since vasoconstriction is happening in point number 1, that is increasing total peripheral resistance, and in point number 2 there is increased cardiac output. Both of them will increase blood pressure, right? So another one is triggers thirst center. So increase in thirst will lead to increase in water intake, right? So that is how increased blood volume will happen, and that will lead to increased cardiac output again. And in another function is it increases the ADS release, that is antidiuretic hormone. So antidiuretic action will be there. There will be decrease in urination or urinary frequency, and that will lead to increased blood volume indirectly, and that is when it will increase the cardiac output, ultimately blood pressure, right? So this is the overall view of RAAS system, and thank you for staying with me. Subscribe for more rapid clinical polls like this. Thank you.